just been in the Public Services for Humans session.
We learned about two models of practice, one focusing on commissioning and another focusing on operational delivery of services, taking a very different approach to current practice, providing holistic support that will meet multiple needs. It requires collaborative working across services, so it requires a whole new way of thinking, really thinking about the cultural shifts that need to happen.
We're so caught up in procedures and delivering services in a particular way.
They end up delivering something that's very narrow and siloed, and being obsessed with whether or not people meet criteria for their services instead of trying to understand the person.
Max French, I work at Northumbria University. My role over the past couple of years has been really getting into the nuts and bolts of interesting, committed groups of people who've been pioneering really new ways of working. Instead of describing what I'm here for, I'll tell you a story.
We've heard two different stories from two different parts of the country, two different councils doing two different approaches to thinking really differently about how they can work to support people in the community and how they can design services and things in a different way.
The session ended up being about what is the point of what we're doing here, how do you make better decisions about doing that, and how do you build really good relationships within and between organisations so that they can do that well.
Rather than rant at you about what could change or what could be different, I'm going to introduce you to two cases which I think are really pioneering ways of doing different things, and I've been really interested and invested in. Plymouth's approach to commissioning, which is a relational approach. It's under this one system, one budget model. The other one is Gateshead, who've been taking a bespoke approach to intervention for people with complex needs.
They talked about storytelling as a way of kind of helping people understand what people's needs are and how we can kind of really meet those needs collaboratively and collectively rather than working in silos. Or
this is hard work, this stuff, it's not simple. You can't just kind of say, oh well, let's do that then, and it gets sorted. So you have to be accepting that if you want to make the world a better place, it doesn't happen quickly and it's not straightforward. Understanding that the world and people in the world are complex, and so you need complex ways of thinking about it to do something about that, and simplistic solutions aren't helpful. And that the only way in which you can make progress is if you spend more time trying to understand people and trying to understand other people's perspectives, and also being honest about your own. That's the only way you can move this whole thing forward.
One of our kind of little sayings is fail fast and learn. So we would much rather people tried something and it fails than they didn't try at all. And actually some of the best learning we've had has come through failure.
We can make processes much more simplified and not so complicated to enable us to kind of deliver a more human-centred approach.
I will use it to think more creatively about service delivery within my organisation in terms of how the operational model.
Certainly putting the human feel back into how we deliver services.
I'm just going to keep doing what I do and keep saying to people, actually we need to change how we speak to each other, we need to relate to each other better.